I just wanted to show you guys that I bought a Volvo. This is a 1996 Volvo 850, and I got it for $1,400, and I think it was a pretty good buy. Now this is a couple months actually after I bought it, but I haven't really done any mention of it or anything. I figured I'd go ahead and do a quick little tour. But this is it. It's in pretty good shape. The paint's in decent shape. It has a couple little blemishes. This one here, I don't know if you can see that. But the main one, I guess there's two. The main one is on the hood over here. I don't know what happened here. My assumption is that the clear coat was coming off and they sanded it and tried to paint it or something, because it looks like it was masked off. I don't know. But there's that, and then there's kind of a scratch dent thing here. Now, I have since done some minor upgrades or work or whatever. Some of them being adding those little fender turn signals, getting these wheels, of course adding the Duro plate and the prancing moose onto the grill here, but put the roof rack on it, didn't come with that. The paint is also clear coat starting to peel right there, so thinking about getting it into the body shop and getting those different pieces modified. Had the windows tinted. Oh, it's locked. Does have the remote for it. So, I'm going to take a look inside. It's a bit of a mess, but seats don't really have any tears per se. I mean, it does have your age from being a 1996 Volvo 850. Ugh. Normally these dashboards have kind of a rattle in them, but this one's good. Does have all of the literature, but yeah, came with the premium sound. It sounds pretty good. Automatic climate control. It is the naturally aspirated version. The turbo would have a little turbo thingy over there, but it's in good shape. Here is the back seat, and it does fold down. As with this front seat, not a lot of Volvo owners know that, but this front backrest folds down. But yeah, it's got the sunroof. Oh, I had the headliner redone on this. It was starting to peel a little bit right around the sunroof and toward the edges and stuff. It wasn't sagging yet, but you know, there's that. I already got my dash cam hooked up, front and rear. I can do a review of that if someone wants it. And yeah, but all in all, I've really come to enjoy this car. I sold a Honda Accord for it. Guy was coming in at the dealership and didn't like the amount he was going to have to pay for some work, and also didn't like the offer that they were going to trade in on him for, and so he ended up selling it outright. And since I was there at the shop, I knew about it and was able to swoop in and get a pretty good deal on it. Now, I did do some work to it. Let's see, I did a flame box, which is the oil trap for some of you non-Volvo people. Or, sorry, rather the partial, or the positive crankcase ventilation system. Oh no, my washer fluid cap is gone. Huh. That sucks. Well, that's missing. Had to do a coolant reservoir. It's pretty par for the course for these. What else did I do? I did plugs, wires, distributor, just tune up stuff. I'm about to do upper strut mounts because they are making some noise. I did an outer tie rod, or outer and inner tie rod ends on both sides, as well as sway bar links. All just mainly maintenance stuff. I need to clean this engine bay up a little bit, but Also needs this motor mount here. That's pretty bad. Or rather, that torque rod bushing. But yeah, I do have a fog light kit ordered for it, so we will be getting fog lights here soon. You do cut holes in the bumper for them. They go on the outside here, just past these little grill things. Now, this one was here, but I was missing, well actually no, this one wasn't here. I was missing both sides of the grill inserts and that little cap. Not a lot of them have this. So I went ahead and ordered those and got them put on. But yeah, and my little headlight wipers do work. Another little thing I did is took the headlights apart and cleaned them out, because you don't really have to restore these headlights considering they're glass, but they do get some dirt in them over time. And so I did that and aimed them correctly. That one was aimed pretty wrong. And actually, that's one of the downsides of this car, actually, is that it was in a wreck at some point, and some rather not so good body work was done, in my opinion, because the fenders didn't really line up. This one has a pretty bad panel gap. It was actually worse before, and I was able to kind of make it a little bit better, but you can see right here, it's kind of regular size, but then gets pretty tight up here. So it was wrecked, but the alignment's okay, you know. It's an older car, and I didn't pay that much money, so I'm not that butthurt about it being wrecked, but you know, that's how it goes. There was a little fender bender here previous owner had. You can see the little stress mark in the bumper here, and just a tiny little dent and a tiny little crack in this corner light. I need to get that replaced. I was thinking about getting the E-codes where they have like the two separate bulbs in here. I think that'd be kind of cool, but they are quite hard to find with the harness, of course. I mean, you can get just the plastic housings pretty easy, actually, but I don't have the thing that holds the bulbs in. So one bulb going into a two bulb housing won't really work out too well, will it? So there's that. But yeah, I got these wheels here. They're pretty. Here, let's go to a better angle. Got these pretty wheels at work. Someone bought a 2016, 2017-ish S60 R Design, I believe, or Dynamic Package. I think that's what it is, Dynamic Package. And it was a loaner car, and they didn't want, these wheels, the black wheels. They wanted just the silverish aluminum alloy wheels. So we had some wheels that were sitting from a Momentum Package XC90, the new ones, the Spa platform ones. And so we went ahead and mounted those 18s up, and she liked them, and so she bought the car with those wheels. And parts, they sold parts to tires, and parts made their money with that, and the customer paid for the wheels, so the sales made their money back too on the car. So these wheels were just kind of in limbo, and I was able to pick them up for $200. So I got these wheels for $200 and mounted these Continental Control Contact AS's All Seasons. Yeah, I think that's what they are. Continental Control Contact All Seasons, and they are 225 40 R18s. And I would have preferred to have more rubber on this setup, but I'm kind of cutting it pretty close. It's hard to tell, but really, biggest wheels you should be putting on these are 17s, if I'm honest. Get more rubber, better ride, but this is just such a good deal, I couldn't pass it up. So I went ahead and made the 18s work. I put a 10mm spacer here behind them to make it work. Now, I did use kind of a cheap spacer. It's kind of biting me back, but I need to get one with a centering lip, because right now it's centered on the lug nuts, which really I thought was going to work, but they are not quite centered. And getting up to like 60, 70 miles an hour, you can kind of feel it. So I'd like to get that figured out and hopefully get a better ride. But just for around town right now, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the 96 Volvo 850 sedan. Now, I guess I wish I could have gotten the wagon. That would have been kind of cool, but Have double wagons over here. Because, of course, you all know I love my Outback wagon. But, you know, good old Volvos, man. And I really love this body style. Absolutely love it. I know it's hard to tell the difference between these and a S70, but I prefer the 850s. Slight different look to it, to the S70. S70 is more rounded off than these, but a lot of shared parts. Essentially, it is the same car, but yeah, that's it.